I'm Stephen John Drew from the official GonnaGeek.com show, a weekly geek news podcast that is a part of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the show you're checking out now. Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other awesome geeky shows at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 410 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast, recorded live on Sunday, July 12th, 2020. I'm Chris. Joining me today, Mr. Anthony Bachman.
Allegedly.
Indeed,
Allegedly.
And then also joining me today, I'm supposed to let you guys know he's pretty teed off right now, he said in the pre-show, and he's going to explain why. The one, but not the only, Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
So, Willie,
I got a little upset.
why are you a little upset?
If you're watching the video, look at this face and look at the face of a fool, because that's what I am. I'm a fool.
Well, we already knew that.
Well, at least something got my hopes up. I was like, oh, that's there. Oh, no, it's not.
There's a particular reason you're a fool this time. That's what you're saying?
Yeah. You see, I subscribe to HBO Max because I wanted to see the second season of Doom Patrol. That's not the reason why I got upset, because Doom Patrol, I went through all the episodes that are now fully available, and it's still a great show. I'm loving that. But before I got to Doom Patrol on there, I saw something. I was like, oh, Rick and Morty is here? Oh, well, let me see if I can watch season 4 since it says it's streaming. No, it's not streaming season 4. And it probably won't for a long while because they're greedy bastards.
I don't think season 4 is streaming anywhere but on the Adult Swim website right now.
Yeah, I know. Fuck you, Dan Harmon.
Well, I had the same concern, and I'm worried they're going to do the same thing with South Park, because up until about a week ago, I didn't have Comedy Central, which is fine, because the only thing I really watched on Comedy Central was South Park, and HBO Max now has the exclusive streaming rights to South Park. So what I was doing before was an episode would air, the next day it would be on Hulu. Well, Hulu doesn't have the rights anymore, and I don't know how it's going to be handled on HBO Max when the new season starts. The next day, will South Park be on HBO Max, or do I have to wait until an entire season is run, or something like that? The problem kind of went away because YouTube TV picked up Comedy Central, so now I don't have to worry about it. But I was sitting there kind of going, well, shit. What am I going to do for South Park? I was like, I guess I could buy a season pass. I have what now?
You have YouTube TV?
Yes, it's my streaming. It's my replacement for cable is YouTube TV. Are you familiar with the service?
Yeah, and like $50-some.
It went up to $65 now.
Yeah, it is pricey. That was
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I did that free trial that you gave me the pass for, and yeah, it's a cool service, but man, that fucker's pricey.
They're all pricey now. That's the problem.
Yeah, well, I technically got HBO Max through Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah, and this also kind of teed me off. I had to do searches for this because Doom Patrol was not available through HBO Max on Hulu. I was like, did I just subscribe to a service for the one reason and I can't do this one reason? Are you kidding me?
You had to get the HBO Max app to do it then?
Yep.
Yeah.
And my Smart TV does not have the app, but for some reason my PlayStation already had it downloaded. I don't know why. I think it's because I had HBO Go or Now and it just automatically did it, which makes sense.
If you had HBO Now, they rebranded it into HBO Max. And it was
I had the app. I wasn't subscribed.
If you had the app, though, it automatically did it because my Android TV did the same thing.
Yeah, so I'm guessing the DC stuff is only streaming on HBO Max itself and not through Hulu, which... yay. So I had to go through a thing to another thing to finally put in a code to put into the HBO Max thing.
Right.
And finally got it. And since I couldn't sleep, I was like, well, I guess I'm just watching all of what's available in Doom Patrol Season 2. And it's still excellent.
Here's their convoluted logic, I think, for why you can't watch it directly in Hulu. Because you're subscribing to HBO, which then gives you an HBO Max subscription as well, is probably the logic they're following. So you get HBO content, but not HBO Max content in Hulu.
No, it says...
Oh, doesn't it?
Add-on HBO Max
Oh, that's-
is what it says.
That's weird.
It does not
I don't
say HBO. It says HBO Max, and I'm like,
Their whole branding is weird. Remember, we talked about it before. They had HBO Go, Now, Max, and now they've gotten rid of gotten rid of Go and Now, and it's just HBO. And they have HBO Now and HBO Max and HBO. See, it's that confusing. I can't keep it straight. But here's the kicker: you still can't get HBO Max on a Roku or an Amazon Fire TV stick because they haven't made a deal there yet.
apparently you can't get it on LG TV either.
That doesn't surprise me as much though, because I don't imagine LG apps are as widely supported across all of these companies. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
Well, it had Disney Plus, but I guess that's on every goddamn thing, right?
It really is. I mean,
Yeah.
here's one of the things that people were giving them crap about is their day one issues they had. They were on every device at least on day one because
Yeah, they
HBO
were on-
Max still not on Roku and Fire TV like I mentioned, and supposedly Peacock, which is NBC's streaming service that starts this week in 3 days as we record this, will not be on the Fire TV and the Roku either. I mean,
Yeah, there were
I don't care.
problems with it, but yeah, day one, Disney Plus, it was on every available platform. Like it was on the first position on my PlayStation without me having to download it.
And-
Fucking Sony, they
I
like
was about to
apparently
say
handed
that.
$20 to Sony, and they're like, yeah, first slot, because yeah, when you go to the
TV
like the
video.
menu, yeah, you have your you have your WWE Network app, your Netflix app, your Hulu app. All of those on PlayStation, it used to rotate through whichever one you were using the most would be first in line. And now,
No,
fucking
that was
Dis-
never like that. On
Mine used to move all the
PS3
time.
used to be that. Mine never moved. Netflix was always first, and that would be the least used thing. I'd use Hulu and I'd use
Yeah, see,
YouTube.
I would
And
use a bunch
Netflix
of Hulu,
is
and Hulu would
always
be my
first.
first one to where when I logged in there, it would be the first icon.
I
Now,
wish.
none of them move. It's always Disney Plus is the first icon ever since it was introduced. Like they sold that spot to Disney.
Something else to consider is Disney Plus also launched with profiles 4K HDR Dolby Atmos.
Oh, I
There's
know, I
no
saw that.
profiles on Peacock at launch. No 4K, no Dolby Atmos, no HDR. We don't have 4K HDR Dolby Atmos on HBO Max yet.
It's Peacock. Who cares?
I'm just saying, in today's world, though,
I do. You know why? Because it tells me what's on the fucking system. It's called Peacock. You know what? I'll bet you that's got NBC Universal shows on it. Because it has a fucking connection to who's actually putting it out. Unlike the term HBO Max, which tells me fucking nothing.
tells you it's
Well,
HBO
except for
content
HBO.
to the
Well,
max.
it tells you it's HBO, and then what else? Oh,
Cinemax.
some of the DC stuff
Cinemax.
of one of the 4 apps that it might be on, and then some of the AT&T stuff. Nobody fucking knows. Like it's ridiculous. It's the dumbest fucking name.
But I will
Nobody
say,
shoots itself foot better than Warner Brothers.
you're not wrong with that. Going back to your point about the South Park thing and the Rick and Morty, I will say it's a little bit different because Rick and Morty, I guess, is through.
Adult Swim.
Wait, is Cartoon Network? Oh, Adult
Which is
Swim, Cartoon Network. Does Viacom own both of them? 'Cause I know Viacom owns Comedy Central. Right?
Viacom owns Comedy Central, but they do
Does-
not own a Cartoon Network. That's a
Oh,
Turner
okay.
channel.
Okay, so that's probably what the difference is. Oh, it might. So who knows with South Park?
I mean, it doesn't matter to me now because I have Comedy Central. But
That's
up until
a
getting
problem for future Chris.
Well, it's not even a problem for future Chris at this point in time because Comedy Central got added to my current package of things. So I don't have to worry about it. But I will say, if I did not have Cartoon Network on my YouTube TV and I couldn't watch Rick and Morty's new seasons after they'd aired, I'd be annoyed.
Well,
I
I
mean-
still can't.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, and you might be able to watch some of them on Adult Swim's website. I don't know.
I got super happy. I saw, oh, Rick and Morty. I can finally watch season 4. Shit, it's not there. Just seasons 1, 2, and fucking 3.
Season 4 is pretty good, Willie. They bring back Mr. Poopy
I
Butthole
wouldn't
even.
know.
Mr. Poopy Butthole
Wouldn't
comes back.
know.
Yeah.
It's just something to look forward to. It's not like we're lacking for content. At least not yet.
I am. I'm lacking some Rick and Morty
Well,
content.
but you know what can help scratch that itch? You can go watch some classic 90s nostalgia TV on Netflix by watching Supermarket Sweep. Because they have all the
wow.
90s episodes of Supermarket Sweep on there now.
I used to watch that, and I used to love it.
You can
so don't
watch
you
it
dare
again.
use it as a joke.
You can watch it
Isn't
again.
also? Did they put it on Netflix too? I think I saw.
It's on
Am
Netflix.
I wrong on that?
That's what I just said.
You said
Amazing.
YouTube.
It's amazing how many game shows are coming out all of a sudden.
It's literally all the old episodes because why the hell
You said
not?
YouTube. That's why I'm confused.
Okay, maybe I did. But you can watch that, and you can also watch the greatest new contest to hit the internet, Floor is Lava.
Floor is Lava.
It's so bad, but so fun.
Actually, last night I watched the first episode of Don't, just to give that a shot. It's Adam Scott. It's not
It's
great.
telling you not
but
to. Why'd you
but
do
it's
it?
funny. Because it's also the voiceover person is Ryan Reynolds, which is kind of hilarious because he's actually talking shit about the contestants whenever like the show's paused. But yeah, it's just weird. All these game shows that are coming out.
Well,
All right.
Can't make new
You want
stuff,
something
so-
weird? You want something weird?
Go
I
for
got
it.
you something weird. It's on YouTube. It's sponsored, at least this season of it, or not season. This seasonal event series, whatever you want to call it, is sponsored by Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. Very surprisingly, it's the channel's called Jellies. That's Jelle, not a Y. Jelly's Marble Run, I think is the channel. Yeah, it's so weirdly entertaining. I don't know why it's so entertaining. But yeah, go Rangers. That's my team because orange is the best color anyway. So
Yeah, we watched some of that. I was also bored yesterday. I know we're not into what I'm into, but I'll mention it now. I watched professional arm wrestling on ESPN for about 10 minutes before I went, well, there's enough of this.
I would not last 10 minutes of that. Like, oh, yo,
Well,
that dude's
so
got one big arm.
Here's
Cool.
the problem. It took 10 minutes for them to actually arm wrestle, and I wanted to see what it was like. Because
Wait,
there's
do
so
you
much-
mean it took like a 10-minute?
No,
I
it
think
was 10
somebody
minutes. It was 10
somebody
minutes of
paid-
hype before they actually
Yeah.
did anything.
Somebody paid to like pop those into the algorithms because I was watching a bunch of like Eddie Hall and Brian Strong stuff from like World's Strongest Man, and they were doing the History Channel that put the videos up from the World's Strongest Men, where the four of them were going around and like doing weird competitions, and like because the algorithm somehow like arm wrestling popped in there. Yeah, I watched like one of those shows. I started it. It's like they've been talking for 15 minutes and nobody's arm wrestled yet.
Right.
Like this shit's worse than pro wrestling. Like what the fuck is going on? It's all shit talk.
Now, were you watching it live?
No, I was just watching videos on YouTube.
Oh, then fast forward that shit.
I was
But no,
watching.
it's
I was
Yeah,
watching.
I
the
was
channel
waiting to see
live.
what. Yeah, I was just I clicked on the arm wrestling video. I was just watching to see what it was, and like
Fair
they're all
enough.
introducing all the characters, and it was like pro wrestling. Like they're introducing all the characters and hyping everybody up, and like talking about this person's record and this person's record and blah blah blah. And, yeah, it was strange.
And I did see one thing from that. You said his name was Brian Hall. Am I getting that right? UK dude.
No, Eddie Hall is the
Eddie
UK
Hall. Yep,
Yeah, the
Eddie
beast.
Hall.
Big up the
Yeah,
beast.
I've only seen one video of him. I guess he put out. I haven't seen any other ones, and he was pretty much it's Thor who was the Mountain.
Yeah,
was throwing a little
they're-
crybaby fit.
Well, no, they're gonna have a boxing match. They're gonna fight. Yeah.
That would be
Uh,
interesting.
Hapthor Bjorgensen, who is the Mountain.
Yeah, I'll
who
let
is,
you
is also
say
known
it,
as
man.
just Thor. Yeah, big dude. World's
Oh, yeah.
Strongest Man. I think 2 years after Eddie's last win, because Eddie won, and there was like an argument about whether or not because Hapthor was disqualified for one of his reps in an event, and so Eddie did one more rep just to beat him because he was literally tied going into the last event. And so Eddie Hall did exactly what he needed to do to win, which was one more rep than what Hapthor did. And so there was a whole bunch of like this argument back and forth, blah blah blah. Either way, Eddie won World's Strongest Man that year and then retired.
Well,
and
also,
Hapthor came
one
back
of the
like
refs
the next
was-
year.
one of the referees was even saying, "I even gave you 3 other ones that were
Yeah.
iffy."
There was a whole
That's
bunch of back and
Thor.
forth about it. But yeah, so like they kept talking trash and like finally like, you know what, fuck it, let's settle it. Let's fight. And so
I forget
they
what the
fucking
left
actually
is called.
signed up for a boxing match. And Eddie Hall's been training for boxing, and now this giant human who, had like the big strongman belly, he now has abs. And it's fucking creepy that this like 300-pound angry mohawk of a man who's just hilarious, fucking Eddie Hall, is great. But yeah, all of a sudden he has abs now, and it's fucking terrifying. I don't know why, but it scares the shit out of me. But yeah, apparently he's actually going to throw hands with the Mountain, which is kind of scary because the Mountain's got like 2.5 feet on him. Like Eddie Hall's a giant human. Like he was the world's strongest man. He still holds the world's was it the world deadlift, I think, in competition. Like the one he did almost killed him. Like by the time he put the weight down and passed out, he was bleeding out of his nose from just the sheer pressure of lifting the weight that he lifted. It was a terrifying video. But he's going to throw hands with the mountain. So
Did you say this is a boxing match? You said?
Yeah, apparently it's going to be a boxing match. From what I'm seeing, Eddie's been training boxing. So yeah, neither one of them is like fast.
I'm about to say this isn't going to be that entertaining because they're both going to get gassed out really fast.
Yeah, it's basically a question of if one of them can train well enough to get 3 or 4 really good punches in and knock the other one out is the real question. Because yeah, it's not like they both don't have power. Dear God, these are both world's strongest man winners, not competitors. Winners. There are points where each one of these individuals was the strongest human on the planet, and yeah, they're going to put boxing gloves on and hit each other. Which
even the
that
normal
alone is selling
jabs would take so much energy to do because it's a lot of stuff you have to power up to go there.
Oh yeah, it's a lot. It's a whole lot of muscle that's moving every time one of those guys throws a punch. But yeah, it's some interesting videos as they're getting ready. Yeah, I'm actually watching Eddie fucking hit bags, and it's kind of impressive. Like how much speed he's added to his arsenal for, a huge human.
And since we're on the subject of weird YouTube analytics or algorithms, let's go with that. I don't know what it is, but out of nowhere, I've been getting stuff from Disturbed's version of Sound of Silence. And that came out 5 years ago, but I'm getting a bunch of stuff now about it. Like multiple, I'm like, I do like that version. It's not a bad version at all. That dude has a nice fucking voice. But why is this all of a sudden coming out now?
Sometimes it's weird what the algorithm will give you.
And it's mostly like people like reviewing it, or it's like music coaches reviewing it. I'm like, okay, why now? Whatever.
Because there's nothing else to do right now, so people are starting to do all sorts of stuff.
Jelly's Marble Run. It's weirdly entertaining, and I like it.
But
Go Rangers!
There's only so much you can watch before you run out.
Yeah, because they only have 4 events up, and I gotta wait for the next event.
See?
But there's also the previous years. Rangers also won. Oh, I don't want to spoil anything for which year that was. There was one year Team Momo got injured. Oh, that was entertaining. They had a little chip fall out of one of the marbles when they got knocked really hard. They had paramedic marbles come out to carry them off.
That's fantastic.
I think Momo was out for the rest of the. Because Team Momo is consistent. Oh, each of the marbles also has individual names, not just team names. Team Momo is consisted of Momo, Mo, and then Momo.
Oh, fuck you. Now you're just being stupid.
I didn't come up with it. Don't fuck me.
Willie, this marble racing sounds fantastic, but you know what else sounds fantastic?
No, it doesn't. It does not sound
It's the
fantastic.
news of the week.
It sounds mind-numbing.
No, we've talked about
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet. It's the news of the week.
Welcome to the news of the week. It's that part of the show where we run down what's in our minds some of the most interesting, geeky, and/or nerdy news to have popped up here in the past week, and share it with you guys who are watching live or listening at a later date. I will kick things off this week unless there is any objections from the peanut gallery. Any objections? Well, Willie flipped me the bird, so I assume that means he's good to go.
Sure. I know. I'm saying you're number 1.
Oh, that's okay. Well, Willie, speaking of number 1,
You go first.
Speaking of number 1, I want to talk about your number 1 favorite streaming service, HBO Max. We know how much you love it.
Well, no, I mean, I like it because it gave me Doom Patrol Season 2, and I love that part of it, so, yeah.
One of the 4 places you can find DC shows.
But only some of them. But that's neither here nor there. We're about to have another DC show that's exclusive to HBO Max as well. So just a little background. We know that Matt Reeves is working on developing the upcoming movie, The Batman, with Robert Pattinson as the lead. That's slated to be coming out October 2021, assuming there are no additional complications from coronavirus, things like that. According to this article...
Assume nothing.
True. According to this article over on Polygon, they say Reeves imagined enough nooks and crannies in his new expansive version of cinematic Gotham City that Warner Brothers' parent company, Warner Media, wants him to keep telling the story in a serialized fashion. It's an original DC drama set in the Gotham City Police Department is headed to HBO Max, the company said in a new announcement. Reeves, Terrence Winter, the Batman producer Dylan Clark, and Warner Brothers Television are behind the new series, which will, quote, build upon the motion picture's examination of the anatomy of corruption in Gotham City, ultimately launching a new Batman universe across multiple platforms, end quote. In the world of TV, Reeves previously co-created Felicity with J.J. Abrams, who also has his own projects, DC-specific, set up at HBO Max. Oy boy.
And Stargate Pioneer's sticking to his until there's 4 seasons. I'm not watching it.
Yeah.
Or at least he's not going to watch any of the Batman stuff at all. Maybe he just doesn't like Matt Reeves.
Doesn't
In
like
the
I don't want to
chat
watch
room.
it. I do not want to watch it because I guarantee you half the guy episodes are going to have his parents dying. Flashbacks to it. And I don't want to watch
Batman's not even going to be in it the way this reads to me from what I've read. This is
Yeah.
more
Oh,
centered around the
you mean like Gotham
GCPD.
City?
Now
Yeah,
you
it's
might
more what
have
we need more Batman shows without Batman.
you might have reference to Batman or something happen, but so all right, let me take off my automatic discounting of most actions that DC Comics tends to do when it comes to television and movie properties because they tend not to work. Let's play a little bit of a whataboutism or what ifism here. Let's spin this around and say, what if this is Marvel that was talking about doing a TV series set in the cinematic universe tied in with, say, Iron Man or Spider-Man or something that deals with...
Like damage control.
Yeah, something like that. What if that's what this
They
was
are.
there? The automatic thought in our head, fair or not, being, oh, this is going to be pretty sweet because of the reputation they have. Remember, we
Because of the
have
track record.
and we have a lot of high expectations for these shows that are coming to Disney Plus, WandaVision, the Falcon and Winter Soldier show, things like that. We have a lot of high hopes for that. And our first thought automatically when we hear Marvel is, oh, this should be really good. So I'm trying to take my bias out, which is my first thought on these DC things is it's not going to be great. The hard thing here is they just don't have the track record. So I'm intrigued, but I don't know if I'm going to care. And let's be honest.
Lowered expectations.
I'm gonna have a counterpoint for you for
Okay.
the Marvel defense thing.
Go ahead here.
We'll have a
One-
counterpoint.
One sec. And part of what I need to say on this, though, is a lot of this is banking on the fact that the Batman is good. And while I think it could be, I think Pattinson's a good actor. I think Matt Reeves is a really good director. There's no guarantee that the Batman is going to be good. I think it could be, but if the Batman's not good, let's go worst case scenario. Batman's not a very good movie. People walk out disappointed. People aren't going to watch this show because they're like, I didn't like the movie. Why do I care about the world that it created?
That also doesn't necessarily mean they won't still make it.
Well, I mean, yeah, they got to throw stuff at the wall to see what sticks. And here, more confusion. This is an HBO Max exclusive show. It doesn't go to the DC app. It goes to
Or Hulu.
Yeah.
or to Hulu. It goes to HBO Max. So it's interesting. You can see what they're doing there is, ooh, Marvel's done some cool stuff similar to this, build up this world. We should probably do something similar. And the comic book fanboy in me goes, oh, this is a great idea. Or an interesting idea. But
Well, it was a great idea when they did the comic of it. It was called Gotham Central.
right.
And
And
Greg Rucka talked about it on Fat Man Beyond this week. It
Pres-
can be done well.
presumably that's what this is going to be, is a Gotham Central TV show set in the Batman universe that's created with the new movie.
Which on that show, they also brought up the fact that now it's a different world where we've had cop shows on TV basically consistently since Westerns left television.
Mhm.
Like there's been a cop show on prime television for basically the past 60 or 70 years. The difference is right now, public feelings on cops are not doing well. Like there's been jokes that Brooklyn Nine-Nine should just start their next season as firefighters and not even mention it. Like just change the entire fucking setup of the show. Because, well, most people aren't too happy with cops in America right now. And nobody wants to watch a show about cops in America right now. So the idea of doing a show based around, it's the Batman universe and you're not going to have Batman in it. You're going to watch, it's a show based on the police precinct that you have to believe is the most corrupt in the world because they don't catch criminals in Gotham. Otherwise, they wouldn't need the fucking Batman.
Only some criminals, the ones that can't afford to pay out.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a whole lot of weird ideas, but also yeah, Gotham Central is a book that ran for a while and had some really good storylines. And I believe that's where, if I'm trying to remember, I think that's where we originally got Renee Montoya, was Gotham Central, where she was a detective on that, in that comic, and then that's where the character sprung out
Well,
of.
it was originally out of Batman the Animated Series.
I was
think is
about
where
to
she
say.
came from. And then I'm pretty
Did
sure
they
the
put it-
animated series came before.
I said, I thought she was in
Gotham
Gotham Central
Central.
first.
Well, when did Gotham Central come out? Because the animated series was early 90s.
I think Gotham Central was in the 90s, but I'm not sure when. I'm not sure either way. But I mean, they told good stories in that book, and that book lasted for a while, which, it was a comic book based on the cops of Gotham, and that lasted for a while. So,
This
I mean,
was-
it can be done well.
2002, Gotham Central, it says.
Okay,
publication
so
date.
maybe it must have came after
Yeah.
then.
I think she's another one of those characters that might have been in the comics. I honestly don't remember, but was more featured in the cartoon, which brought her to a lot of relevance to folks.
Well, yeah, the one I know for sure, because the very first comic book character created in the show that then made the transition to comics was Harley. So Renee Montoya might have done that second. I just remember, I know Harley did it because it was a big deal.
Yeah.
Because Paul Dini and them and Bruce Timm actually created Harley. She was not a Batman character. I mean, yeah, it can be done well.
It can be. So, Willie, we interrupted you. You said you had a counterpoint you wanted to bring up in the Marvel comparison. So, go ahead.
Oh,
sir.
yeah. You said, expectations for Marvel would be good. I mean, my counterpoint with that would be Inhumans.
Okay.
It was technically connected. Technically. By
Fair
their
point.
words, not mine.
To be fair, I think there was some excitement about it until we saw the first trailer and everyone went, oh, God, this is going to be bad when it came to Inhumans.
Yeah.
No, there was great potential there. Those characters have lasted a long time for a reason. There's been really good stories told with those characters, and they had some good actors on that show. They just had a lot of fucking problems.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that they started off aiming for it to be a movie, and then the movie became a show, and then the show became, we're going to put the first 2 episodes out on IMAX in theaters for no reason whatsoever.
That's because
To
they
show you how-
realized it was a shit show, too.
To show you how bad our hair special effects are. And our main character, whose superpower is controlling her hair, we're going to shave her bald in episode 1. Because we don't have the budget for this shit.
Yeah.
Like, fucking ridiculous.
Why even make this if you're not going to use them?
Yeah, it was poorly done. Very poorly done. I just feel bad for Anson Mount because he's a great actor. Like, he had to do the whole role without talking, and he looked good, but he didn't really get to do much.
It worked out for
As
him. He got to be
Black Bolt.
Captain Pike and get his own TV
Yeah.
show now.
He
Yeah,
was
it
the
did really hurt
equivalent to Cyclops in the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least Cyclops was a dick.
I really
Was he,
hope.
though?
I really hope they let Cyclops, actually be Cyclops in the next round of movies.
Was he a dick in the movies? Wolverine
Yeah.
just kind of came up and started hitting on his girl. I mean, if someone just came up and started hitting on your girl, wouldn't that kind of make you a little bit like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck?
But see, if he had just been, an alpha male and just stomped Wolverine's ass, it would have been different. He just got an attitude.
Well,
That's
I don't
not going
think
to work
he
with
just
Wolverine.
stomp his ass without using. Because Wolverine can't help but use his powers because it's just automatic as a passive
Yeah,
ability.
so why not hit him in the face with a blast? He'll
Because
back
he
off,
just healed
bitch.
from him and he's back up. He's done. It's like,
Yeah,
well,
he
that's
still
all
feels
that.
pain.
But I mean,
First thing he
you-
should have done was melted Logan's face off.
But
Be
he
like,
can't.
back off, bitch, and then
it's
walk
not
away.
going to melt because it's concussive force that comes out of the optic
no,
blast.
his face isn't gonna
That's
melt
not
because
what
it's
Gail
PG.
Simone says. I've read her Twitter.
It's not gonna melt because his face is PG. That's what's rated. Can't do
His
that.
face is PG.
Yes.
Your face is rated PG.
I can't melt it. And plus, I don't think he can melt his face. I thought it was like a concussive blast, not
Yeah.
Just
a
say-
melting blast.
Yeah, that's
well,
that's
good
part of
point.
the problem is that people forget that it's force.
And it isn't also
Technically,
powered by the sun.
blast. No, it's powered by cosmic energy.
Oh, Isn't his brother Havoc powered by the sun?
Cyclops and Havoc are both cosmic batteries.
Fair
They
enough.
get their energy literally from the cosmic radiation that's in the universe. They both absorb it and
What
expel
made
it in different
Fantastic
manners.
Four?
No, those were cosmic rays.
Oh.
Hey, it's the 60s, man. They were all on drugs. Who knows?
Yeah, there was a lot of LSD going on then.
Yep.
A lot.
Still is. I don't know where you're looking. Haven't you seen some of these festival shows that have been going on? Well, not now, but last couple of years.
No, I didn't.
There's some weird people out there
Well,
Well, that's-
dressed very suggestively.
that's why Willie likes it.
So many wanging dicks.
Well, since we're talking about DC and Batman right now, let's continue
And
the
wanging
DC
dicks.
trend and continue talking about the Bat, just a different Bat with Bachman's news.
A different bat indeed. Yeah, for the third place you can go to watch your DC shows is the CW and the CW app. We talked about it a little bit last week, but it has been confirmed. The Batwoman taps Javicia Leslie to take over title role. So Ruby Rose is stepping down. The showrunners did confirm they are not killing off Kate Kane. Part of season 2 will be the mystery of what happened to Kate Kane. Like I said, on the show where Kate Kane shows up to be Batman because they can't find Batman, the first Batwoman's now going to disappear, and we're going to get a second Batwoman to try to figure out what happened to Batwoman. So the mystery character thing is happening so far. We're going into season 2. We lost Batman, and now we've lost the first Batwoman. It is definitely a huge deal, though, because it's going to be another, what is it? She's, where's the actual code at? She will take over the title role the second season following the departure of star Ruby Rose. She will play a character named Ryan Wilder, becoming the first black actress to play Batwoman in a live-action TV or film production. And then the quote from Leslie was, "I'm extremely proud to be the first black actress to play the iconic role of Batwoman on television. As a bisexual woman, I'm honored to be joining this groundbreaking show, which has been such a trailblazer for the LGBTQ plus community," said Leslie, which is, a main factor in the show. If you haven't watched Batwoman, it's a huge deal. The fact that Kate Kane's character was not an out lesbian, and that was why when she came out in the military academy, her girlfriend basically betrays her on the show, stays in the military, lies about being a lesbian, and then becomes part of the Crows, which is this weird paramilitary thing they made up for the show. Yes, Willie?
The crows come back?
Different Crows.
Oh,
Yeah.
different crows, different bat. Ugh.
Yeah, it's all very strange. But then, so later on, those characters kind of butt heads in season 1. But I mean, it's one of the most important parts of the storytelling about that universe and about Kate Kane is the fact that she's playing Batwoman, and they end up letting the public know that Batwoman actually is a lesbian, and which was one of the big deals in comics, because I'm trying to remember, but if I believe correctly, it was the first main, brand new character that started as an out lesbian character in the DC comics, where when they created the character of Batwoman, she was an out lesbian character from the get-go, which was a big deal.
Got a question about that. Did they do it tastefully?
Actually, yeah. The whole story of Kate Kane in the comics was awesome. When Batwoman shows up, it's great because she is like a ex-military badass. I remember in the comics, her dad runs a weapons manufacturing company, like a fucking like Heckler and Koch, it's like a gun company is what her dad does.
Oh,
And
I
so-
was specifying the comics. Just to
in the comics,
that out
yes.
there.
So she grows up as a badass, and then it's cool because in the comics originally she shows up and she has no connection to Batman. She literally just decides she's going to be Batwoman and makes the suit and goes out and starts stopping vigilantes. And Batman and the crew are like, "Who the fuck is this? Who's this chick running around wearing our logo on her chest?" And they basically go to stop her. Batwoman's like, "Fuck you! I don't need your permission. You're not the Bat Police. You can't tell me not to be Batwoman." And she basically tells Batman to go fuck off. Well, no, because he can't decide who isn't Bat people. He's given a bunch of them Bat toys.
I mean, that logo has to be copyrighted, right?
No, that's the problem. He's a vigilante, so you can't complain about someone else breaking the law when you're breaking the law.
I don't think Batman Inc. exists anymore post Rebirth, so there's probably no trademark on the Bat logo.
Those are words you're saying. I never heard of any of that.
Oh, for a while they turned it into a corporation. There was Batman in every country. It was very strange. It was like the Civil War superhero team in every state bullshit. It was really weird.
That was the initiative.
Yeah, so there will be a new Batwoman starting this season. It is weird too because they did the write up, and in the Hollywood Reporter article they have it. And apparently this is from the sides, and described the character Ryan Wilder as a likable, messy, a little goofy and untamed. Also, nothing like Kate Kane, the woman who wore the batsuit before her. With no one in her life to keep her on track, Ryan spent years as a drug runner, dodging the GCPD and masking her pain with bad habits. Today, Ryan lives in her van with her plant. It says a girl who would steal milk for an alley cat could also kill you with her bare hands. She is the most dangerous type of fighter, highly skilled and wildly undisciplined. An out lesbian, athletic, raw, passionate, fallible, and very much not your stereotypical all-American hero. And to reinstate something that Mark Bernardin talked about on Batman Beyond or Fatman Beyond, it was an open casting call. So they literally didn't put any type of ethnicity on the role, anything. They tried everybody out for the role that want to come in for it. So you now have a bisexual African-American actress that's playing this character, and the sides say that the character's an ex-drug runner that's homeless. So the first white Batwoman is Bruce Wayne's cousin and ultra rich and military trained and all this stuff. And then she gets replaced by a black actress, and now she lives in a van down by the river and used to sell drugs.
Oh, to be fair, though, they said prior to the casting that was their plan for this character, was to have that background. It has nothing to do with who was cast.
It also could be now that it's cast, these sides will hopefully change. None of this is set in stone. All they're doing is writing right now. None of the shows are being filmed. So all they're doing is writing out the season. So because it could be reflective of the character that they have now cast, because they have this actress, they might be changing the character of Brian Wilder a little bit, because it's a character they're literally making up for the show. So like it would seem very weird that they go that far in the opposite direction, because and their sides, their write-ups for someone coming into a casting call. Lots of times the stuff that's written up for the casting call never makes it to the show, has nothing to do with the show. It's literally just to get people in, get them to read lines and see how they interact, especially with other cast members, because a lot of these shows it's based on charisma. Let's be honest, everybody basically hated Iron Fist, but you cannot deny the guy playing Iron Fist had great charisma with Mike Colton. They just, didn't do well with the Iron Fist character. But those two together had great charisma when they were on screen. I loved it. But yeah, it's something where, Mark Bernard talked about it. It's kind of cringy. And so it's one of those things where, the CW shows have done a really good job of, inclusivity, making sure, everybody on their shows kick ass. Like, they're all kick ass characters. And a whole lot of them are kick ass women, especially if you watch Legends, you watch fucking Arrow. Like, they have no problem on the CW putting badass chicks in suits and having them kick the fuck out of everybody. Like, there's awesome fucking strong female leads on a lot of these shows. But it's very strange if they go with the sides they already have, if the thing doesn't change a little bit and reflect, just kind of the mood that we're in. Because, it does exist in the current world. And so it's going to be kind of strange if they do exactly what's written that we're being told right now. I just think it's going to feel off.
Now, I don't know how progressive DC is, because, for decades, they've been having a character in whiteface. Joker. Come on now.
Well, hey, the Batman stopped shooting, mafia people in the face with Tommy guns back in the 60s. So they're taking steps.
I guess.
Oh, Batman doesn't kill shit. Have you read the early Batman comics? Batman used to murder face motherfuckers in every issue. There's literally a comic he shoots a dude in the face with a Tommy gun. Batman used to murder all day long.
Bachman, the universe got rebooted. It's not the same Batman.
You're not wrong.
Different Batman. Batman.
Was that your comic book?
The rights removed.
You need to work on that, because that's
new character. New character.
Oh boy.
I didn't think about that until you said it, Bachman. Thank you.
Going back to this news, I don't care.
Yes.
I don't care one bit.
Am I the only one that watched the Batwoman show?
The show was moderately interesting to me. I watched her in the crossover where they set her up. Oh, you're the Dark Knight of tomorrow. We're going to have this cool relationship between you and Kara as your friends, and you're the super friends of this universe. And as soon as Ruby Rose left, I was like, oh, they're screwed. You can't build a show up around one person. And it would be like if Stephen Amell left after season 1 of Arrow, or Grant Gustin left after season 1 of The Flash. How do you pivot? You're bringing in a character that
that's what we're going to see is how they pivot.
that now has to interact with all these characters you've established whose one connection is they all know Ruby Rose is Kate Kane. I don't care. It sounds like it's going to be a mess to me. And I don't know. Maybe I'm just so burnt out on all the CW superhero shows after Dawn Arrow for so long. Like, the only thing I watch, and I'm still a season behind right now, is Legends of Tomorrow. I don't care. And I already know there's going to be people like, that's racist that you don't care. And fuck you. I don't have to care because of casting. I stopped caring before that even happened. I mean,
I think I'm the only one.
Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think I'm the only one of us that's actually watched all of Batwoman. So
yes,
I didn't know it was a thing.
Look, and that's the thing I'm most worried about going to come out of this. Is there's going to be a bunch of people who legitimately just want to get off the ride because they were watching it for Ruby Rose and they really like that character, and that character's gone, and they're going to want to get off. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there's going to be some sections of the fandom that are going to make
the overly woke.
I guess that's the best way of putting it.
If you don't keep watching the show, then you're racist.
Yeah,
no, that's not true.
Let's be honest.
Bullshit.
There's gonna be a small but vocal group of people that will say something like that. You know as well as I do, because that's how this stuff works anymore.
Yep.
And there is nothing wrong with jumping off the ride because you just don't care or it's not your thing anymore. I would rather, if I was someone that loved the show Batwoman and I was really excited going forward, I would rather the people who have their misgivings and are vocal about why they don't think it's going to work, get off the ride.
Yes, and I'm interested to see how they pivot, because I am interested in the world that they had built. I mean, the Kate Kane character was awesome. Ruby Rose was great. Apparently, fucking, being the number one on the call sheet for a show where you are the main character and the superhero is tough fucking work. Like, we've seen Stephen Amell killing himself for 42 years, this fucking Arrow. Like, it seems like his whole life he's been doing that. And Ruby Rose basically came to the conclusion that she can't fucking do it. It's a tough job. And so they have no choice. Well, I mean, I guess they do have a choice. Technically, she had a contract, I think, for 3 seasons. So, apparently DC's being nice and saying, hey, we're going to write this character kind of off and replace her. So I'm interested to see how they pivot, because it's just like, on any other TV show, like when an actor dies and the writers don't have a fucking, like, hey, fix it. Like, that character's dead now. Deal with it. You don't have a choice. Figure it out. Well, Ruby Rose is leaving, so they don't have a choice. They got to figure it out. They're still making a show. So I'm interested to see what they do with it. Not necessarily, like, I already have misgivings about the character they're just whipping up in the moment. But hopefully by the time it actually goes to screen, it could be really cool. So, like, I'm also watching Stargirl. That show's great. So the CW's got some great writers.
Maybe I'm just making a bad assumption here, but my assumption, Batwoman got renewed really early on, like around episode 2 or 3, I think it was.
Well, it had fantastic numbers.
Yes. And had it been they hadn't made a renewal decision until after the season aired and Ruby Rose was gone, I don't know that it would have been renewed. They might have just pivoted to something new. I think they were kind of stuck. They'd renewed it early. They had her in a long-term contract, but yes, she's under contract, but if someone's miserable and doesn't want to be there, you make them come and appear on set, you're not going to get a good performance out of them, so the character's going to suck. They really had no choice.
Yeah.
So
and apparently, like, it was reflected in the cast and crew, like everybody knew it. It wasn't like a secret.
Yeah. So I don't think they had much of a choice because of the early renewal. They have to try something different, and that's fine. I hope it pans out. I just don't care. I don't care.
So I'm going to sound pretty dumb here.
Go for it.
Back before the movie came out, I remember hearing that there was going to be a Batwoman show, or the Batwoman was going to be in something. I remember, she's a lesbian. I was like, okay, well, let's see. Well, it's like, okay, let's see more about it or whatever. And I just forgot about it. And I thought she was supposed to be in the Birds of Prey movie. I thought that's what it was supposed to be in, because I didn't know, and I still didn't know until you just brought it up.
Yeah, no, she was never meant to be in
bad
part of that
marketing.
movie.
Her first appearance in this round of things was in last year's crossover to set up Crisis on Infinite Earths the next year and to set up her spinoff.
Yeah, they had. Well, because didn't trying to remember, because originally didn't Wally and Oliver run into her on one of the alternate Earth jumps before the Crisis thing really got started?
It was
I
when,
think at one
it was
point
when
they went to
Ollie
her.
and Barry body swapped or something. It was in that crossover, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, they went to her Earth where her Gotham was,
Yeah.
where Batman is missing, and no one had taken over the role of Batman yet. And then they introduced Kate Kane.
It was a
Which,
backdoor
yeah,
I'll
pilot.
do it.
Yeah, it was like a backdoor pilot, and yeah, it was done really well. And yeah, I honestly watched the show for Ruby Rose. I loved her in fucking John Wick. Like, I thought she was a really cool actress. I want to see what she'd do with the character. The fact that they got an out lesbian to play an out lesbian character, like, okay, we're gonna have a superhero show with a lesbian lead where she has fucking where it's it's not Bruce Wayne banging supermodels, it's fucking Kate Kane banging supermodels. It's like, all right, this works. And like they did some really cool stuff with it. But yeah, you have a show based on the fact that the Crows are the paramilitary force that's fighting Batwoman in the show, which is run by her dad. The super villain that she's fighting in Alice, which is her twin sister. So if you get rid of the character of Kate Kane, that kind of makes Alice and the Crows like much less important in their relationship to the new Batwoman, who's now someone who's not family, has no relation to them, and honestly, as far as the show knows, is a character that didn't exist last year. So yeah, it's going to be weird to see what they do, but I'm excited to see if they can pull it off, because if they can pull it off, it will be impressive.
Meh.
Yeah, I'm
It's
about
going to be
same
on the
boat.
CW app. I'm all right on that.
No, this one's on HBO Max because they
It's gonna be
signed
on
a deal
both?
No.
after the fact.
It'll be on the CW
The
app.
streaming,
Batwoman?
yes, it will be for the last 5 episodes that aired. But the deal was they don't go to
Yeah.
Netflix; they go to HBO Max. Batwoman episodes.
Yeah, eventually.
Yes.
But yeah, they'll be on the CW, then they'll be on the CW app, and then they'll go to HBO Max. 3 of the 4 places you can watch DC show content.
Good luck
Because
keeping
they
it all
don't know what
straight.
the fuck they're doing. Yeah, that was my news.
Willie, what do you got for us? What's going to wrinkle our brains today?
So I'm going to need you to do a little game. I'm going to say a question. You got to answer it. This is too much build up for what's going to be, but let's
Talking
just
to
go
him
on
or to
with
me
it.
or to both of us.
Yes. So the question
yes,
is,
no question,
name
master.
something that is undead.
A zombie?
Name
Solomon
something
Grundy.
else. Name something. Well, Solomon Grundy is a zombie, is he not? Is he a lich? I don't know what the hell
I
he is.
think technically
No.
he's a zombie.
I also know he was born on a Monday. What else
Yep.
is undead?
Vampires?
We'll go with that. And you know what vampires are a part of? The Universal Dark Monster Universe. The Dark Universe.
That's not a thing.
Who cares? Apparently, it's still a thing.
No, it's not.
Technically, what
I
came
saw
out
that
earlier this year.
god-awful Tom Cruise mummy movie. I know that the
What?
Dark Universe is not a thing.
Technically, apparently, the Invisible Man movie that came out is a part of it.
Oh god, they're
And-
trying to backdoor and say that was part of it.
And
Wasn't that-
there's going to be another movie coming out that's going to be a part of it too. This one's going to be starring Ryan Gosling as the Wolfman.
Yeah, I already saw the Wolfman movie they just did.
I couldn't care less about that either. This is 2
I
news
didn't
stories in
say
a row. I'm
you
just like,
The worst forced crossover universe bullshit that any company has tried to do is this Universal monster stuff. This is like the 7th fucking time they've tried this, and it hasn't worked yet.
Now, I thought The Mummy was actually not bad. Not great. Good at best, but it's all right. It wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. Yeah, that thing just this Dark Universe just won't die.
It was the Tom Cruise mummy, Stargate Pioneer. Yeah, I mean, honestly, because I'm trying to remember, they started this. It was supposed to be, who is it? The Luke Goss Dracula movie
I think
was
so.
supposed to be the actual
Dracula
start of this.
Untold.
I
that
think that
what's
might have been the title.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they tweaked some stuff in that so
Yeah.
it would be the beginning of everything.
and that was actually a pretty good Dracula movie that nobody fucking saw.
I saw it. I don't remember it, but I saw
Yeah.
it.
Well, it was pretty good, not great. And then then they did the Anthony Hopkins Wolfman, which was supposed to be the second part of it,
Wasn't
which
that?
had
Wait.
no connection whatsoever.
Whoa, is this a separate movie than the Benicio del Toro Wolfman movie?
Same movie. It was
Oh,
Anthony
okay,
Hopkins
okay.
and Benicio
Oh,
del
okay.
Toro were the Wolfmen.
Never saw it. I wanted to see it. Just kind of passed me by.
Saw it?
Anthony Banderas. Oh, not Anthony Banderas.
Really,
Benicio del Toro.
really meh. Like, it came off so lackluster, and like it's just giant cinematography and everything looks beautiful, and we forgot to write a story. Shit.
Well, I like things that look beautiful.
Yeah, well, you like Zack Snyder movies, so.
Well, Zack Snyder movies I have seen, I like them.
They look beautiful. Some of them are even good stories. But yeah,
Not
so,
Batman v
yeah,
Superman.
the Wolfman one didn't work and also didn't connect the universe. And then that was when they made the announcement that they were going to do the big one. They were going to do the Tom Cruise Mummy, and they were going to do Johnny Depp as the Invisible Man, and they were going to do blah 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 blah. And they had
They didn't do that.
like they were going to do like a Robert Rodriguez done fucking Creature from the Black Lagoon. Like
Which could be cool.
they announced like 7 films and then made one of them. And then the Tom Cruise Mummy came out and it failed horribly.
But now
Like,
you
yeah.
can shoehorn in the Invisible Man.
And so, yeah, now
actually,
they're just going back and saying the Invisible Man counts as part of their bullshit, connected universe.
and also, this is also going to have the same director as Invisible Man as well. So there's something.
I heard Invisible Man was really good. I just haven't seen it yet.
I need to see it too. I've been meaning to see it. That and
does
Fantasy
look-
Island.
I bought that because
You told me.
when I love Blumhouse, I bought The Hunt and I bought Fantasy Island. Both were actually better than I thought they were going to be. The Fantasy Island thing is very strange. Like it's the connections to the show are few and far between, and they're very small. And it's one of those ones that's like where they set you up in the trailer for one type of movie, and you get that, but you also get some other weird shit along the way as you watch the film. Like it's definitely Blumhouse fucking with you. It's good. It's worth watching. Yeah, I haven't seen the new Invisible Man, which all those movies always just get creepy and rapey. Like
I was gonna say, well, especially the Kevin Bacon one. That got really rapey.
Kevin Bacon
Yeah.
was
fast.
super rapey.
That was super
like that
rapey.
was.
Do you not remember they had a scene where an invisible hand was groping a breast, pulled the breast out, and then started groping it? Of course, it's an invisible hand, so they had that old CGI just put a displacement over it.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. I think people forget that that's a Kevin Bacon movie because, well, lucky for him, it wasn't his face in the whole fucking film. But yeah, that one was ooh.
Yeah, I rented. That's one of the first movies I rented on DVD. I'm sorry, Divida.
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 I thought you were going to say, give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that.
So Willie,
Yeah,
do you
that's all I
think this
got
whole
for that
Dark
bullshit.
Universe continuation is going to pan out? You going to watch any new stuff they try and say is Dark Universe?
I mean, I want to see the Invisible Man, so yeah, I'll watch this. Fucking
Listen,
Ryan
man.
Gosling's awesome. So I mean, why would I say no to Ryan Gosling?
I'm just waiting until the Invisible Man hits a streaming service I have because I didn't care enough to actually rent it.
Okay,
What was that?
is it not on? Could it be on Shudder? Maybe. That's
I don't
another
even know what that service is.
streaming
I
service
think
you can get.
I think
A
it's still
horror
on
movie.
I think it's
Horror.
still on VOD.
That's probably true. Yeah, Shudder is a horror streaming service.
Oh,
Yeah, it's basically horror Netflix.
They focus on horror,
Okay.
so it's. I mean, you get a lot of those underground ones, stuff that can be really good. Where at the Final Girls on? That was a great. Movie.
Final Girls was a good
great,
I like that one.
good. You got some Thomas Middleditch in it. Killer was, but he wasn't the main point.
No. Yeah, the point was the Final Girls.
Yeah, we're stuck in a movie.
I love me a Final Girl.
But in this movie, you get multiples because it's the Final Girls.
Yeah.
All right, this joke's done with. This story's also done with. Let's get the fuck off the Dark Universe bullshit.
Since Universal already has.
well, sort of, because like when I was,
Wait! This just come in. The Dark Universe is now canceled again. I'm just kidding.
it was
Oh
interesting.
wait, it's back on. I'm sorry, I had to.
It was interesting because I was in Universal Studios last year, you would assume they would talk a bunch about this whole new universe. They had references all over the place to the old Universal monster movies and stuff like that. The only place I saw the Dark Universe movies referenced whatsoever at Universal Studios in Florida was when we went to go see a makeup special effects show where they were talking about like horror makeup effects. Like the video you watched in the lobby was all about Tom Cruise's The Mummy. That was the only place I saw anything about the Dark Universe ships. And like they started talking about the Dark Universe they're building in this promo video. I was like, oh man, this didn't age well.
Nope. It's one of those things where when you come out the gate trying to start a franchise and your goal is not to just make a great movie, this is what happens. You get the Dark Universe.
Man, but I kind of wanted to see a Russell Crowe, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. That was Russell Crowe, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he was supposed to be Dr.
Okay,
Jekyll
good.
and Mr. Hyde, yeah.
Well, whichever
Which, yeah.
is him or Gerard Butler. I
No,
always
it
get
was-
those
it
two
was Crowe.
confused with looks.
But yeah,
They
that
both
could have been
look
cool.
very similar.
I couldn't remember. Yeah, but it was either Robert Rodriguez or Guillermo del Toro was supposed to do The Creature from the Black Lagoon, and either way, that was going to be a cool idea.
Oh, I
Like,
would have
I-
liked either one of those.
Yeah, I would have dug
Let's
either
get
of
them
them.
both.
Yeah, there you go. Guillermo produces it and does all the design work, and then Robert Rodriguez shoots it. Fuck
No,
yes.
no, I've been wanting this experiment done for a long time. No. Give both directors the same exact script and say, go make those movies, and have them both.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
It would be
really
amazing
cool.
to see how different those two movies would be by those two guys.
And that I've been having this idea for a long time.
'Cause
I
you
was
know
thinking maybe put it as a show idea. I don't know.
You
but
know,
that'd be
the
a good
Guillermo
idea.
one would be more detailed and more terrifying and more dark. But you know also that the Robert Rodriguez one would have so much more action in it
And over the topness.
and way over the topness, but both would be awesome.
The only problem you would
going
have
with-
to figure out with that is how much do you let them go off script at all? Because directors always have the ability to kind of tweak some of the things that are happening.
Yeah.
Do you
In the
say
moment.
it's got to hit these broad points? These are essential, and as long as you hit that, you're good to go.
I would assume so, and give them the same script and say these are important parts because you got to give them the freedom, but you
There has to be a creature
kinda
and there has to be a
similar.
lagoon. Other than that, you're good to go.
And then the only other complexity you'd be introducing there is: do they get the same actors in production, special effects crew? Or do they have separate?
I would say
ones?
completely different.
So okay,
Let them use who they want to, because Ron Perlman's going to
There
be
you
in
go.
Gilmore's, and you got what's his name?
I mean, Guillermo.
El Rey in what's his name? What is that dude's name? I like him. He was El Rey in Planet Terror. He was the cop dude in the show From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, I know who you're
Dang.
talking about. Shit.
Yeah, he was good. I like him
he's-
a lot.
And he's in a lot of Robert Rodriguez films. I can't think
Yeah.
of his name, though.
Who knows? Maybe Quentin Tarantino will make an appearance.
it's entirely possible. I like that idea. It'd be super cool. I just don't think we'll
Thank
actually
you.
see it.
Willie has a good idea every now and then, if you already agreed to it.
But I'm not the indicator of what's a good idea for the public at large.
You liked a Willie idea.
I know, and I feel dirty already.
Well, that's on both of you, actually.
How's it on both of us?
You both liked the idea. And it came from Willie.
Now I feel dirty.
I'm making you feel as dirty as possible. Just
Gross.
let that idea just melt over your brain, just encompass it.
I need something to distract myself from how dirty I feel. So I guess we
It
should
just
move on.
It's groping you like that invisible hand.
We're going to move on to
groping
our
your
final
mind.
segment. It's a little bit called What I'm Into. Our chance to share with you guys who are watching live or listening at a later date just what kind of geeky and or nerdy things we've been getting into. And God willing, Willie doesn't have any more good ideas. I have to admit are good ideas during this part of the show because I can't take it.
I'm
No
full
promises.
of good ideas.
Willie, you're like 1 for 72 right now.
That's full of good ideas. You have agreed to good ideas I've had in the past. It's not just one. It's at least 3.5.
You're 3.5 for 72 right now.
At least. I said at least.
Freddie Rodriguez.
Yeah.
There you go.
Took me a minute.
So
Yeah, because in Planet Terror, he was Ray.
El Rey.
this segment's What I'm Into. We'll share with you guys what we've been getting into. I will kick things off. I watched all of Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix. There was only 6 episodes. Only like half of them were really that interesting to me. It's not quite the same.
That how long it ran?
Are they new Unsolved
this
Mysteries?
is new. It is a new season
okay.
of Unsolved
Oh,
The original
I
showrunner-
kept seeing stuff. I thought it was the old show.
Mysteries. No, it is
I'm
a new.
disappointed.
It is a new 6 episodes of Unsolved Mysteries, all about an hour each or so. But obviously, the voiceover guy, I believe his name was Robert Stack. He will not be in there because he's been dead since 2012, I think.
Something like that.
Because he's been dead.
Yeah.
Did I not say name something that's undead?
But yeah, he's dead, not undead.
He's dead, not
dead.
undead.
We don't know if he's dead. It's unsolved. It's a mystery.
Going back
bitches.
to Unsolved Mysteries, they don't do as much reenactment and things like that like we used to see in the old show, and you don't have a host, for lack of a better term, that kicks things off. It's more just documentary, kind of true crime-ish kind of things. They're interesting. It's not quite as good as the old school Unsolved Mysteries. However, what is really cool is Netflix on the Unsolved Mysteries subreddit, for all of the source material they generated, including the stuff they didn't put out in the episodes. They dumped all of their notes, all of their videos, all of that up on Reddit, so they're available for people on the Unsolved Mysteries subreddit to consume, to look into themselves, because Unsolved Mysteries does have a tradition of helping actually solve mysteries from viewer tips and things like that. So they're kind of relying on that whole Reddit conspiracy theory aspect. People dig into crazy weird stuff and research the hell out of it, and they're taking tips and stuff like that. And supposedly they've gotten a lot of tips for at least 2 or 3 out of these shows that aired, from what I'd been reading. I haven't gone to the subreddit myself to investigate all the stuff that's there, but from what they said, they dumped everything that they had done for these Unsolved Mysteries episodes so that people could consume it, research it themselves, and I thought that was pretty cool. Yes, Willie, you're smiling about something.
I got 2 things.
Oh, okay,
So they
go
actually
ahead.
solve these mysteries,
Another subreddit
even the
for
ones
to
with
read.
aliens.
Not
even
all
the alien
mysteries get
episodes?
solved on Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh, that's sad. And second question is, do they still have the theme song, the original theme song?
It is mostly the same. They've kind of put a modern twist on it.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
That's enough. for
And
me.
it's still...
Holy shit!
It still reminds me of when I was a kid, where that song creeped me the F out whenever I would hear it. I'd be like, ugh.
Yeah, what happened at my grandparents' place, because that's all we watched it back then.
Robert Stack died in 2003. He was doing episodes of Unsolved Mysteries up until 2002. He did 291 episodes of that fucking show.
Oh, wow. I had my dates wrong. I
That
apologize.
show was running till 2002?
Yeah.
What?
Unsolved
What?
Mysteries was on
Yeah.
forever, man.
It says 1987 up to 2002, 291 episodes, and then Dennis Farina is listed as the second host in 2008 for 174 more episodes.
What?
Holy shit. There's like 500 episodes of Unsolved Mysteries. That's insane. I had no idea they did that many.
These ones are pretty
Holy
good. I
balls.
enjoyed them.
Robert Stack's out there making them stacks.
Yeah, he was.
If you enjoyed it before, feel free to go check them out on Netflix. I think there's only 6 episodes. I knocked all of them out this past week. I enjoyed it. It made my brain hurt. And then I enjoyed going on to Reddit and reading some of the conspiracy theories that people had about what actually happened. Do I believe those conspiracy theories? More often than not, no. But it's fun to read the conspiracy theories.
Oh my god, they could do a crossover Netflix and have the unsolved mystery of, did Carol Baskins really kill her husband?
That bitch Carol Baskin
bitch.
down in Florida.
Oh, my favorite joke is still murder hornet. You mean Baskin bees? I still love that joke. This might be the alliteration to it.
I love it too. That's pretty good. Other stuff we get into, continuing my rewatch of Babylon 5 because I love that television show, even though it has not aged well in the special effects department at times. Actually, in most times. Yeah. And I was going to watch on last night, rather. There was a movie that came out on Hulu I haven't had a chance to watch yet called Palm Springs. It's Andy Samberg and Kristen Milioti. And it's all about a time loop kind of Groundhog Day kind of thing. I won't say any more because I think Bachman's going to talk about it. It just dropped on Friday on Hulu. I've heard it's really good. We're going to watch it tonight. My wife wasn't feeling well last night, so she didn't want to watch a movie. So I think tonight we'll watch Palm Springs. It looks delightful.
So no spoilers, Bachman.
Yeah, no spoilers.
No
please.
spoilers. It's day of. Like, it just came out. I'm not going to say
Yeah, but
out
I just
Friday.
saw something about the movie. I didn't know it was already out on like Hulu. On Hulu.
Yeah.
It was
Hulu
direct to
dropped
Hulu.
it this weekend.
Yeah, it came
Yeah,
out on
it's a
Friday.
Hulu movie. Yeah,
That is
they produced it.
surprising. I mean, Hulu's not slacking in the movie department. If you really look at it, they have some good movies in there.
Yeah,
Like
Hulu's got
streaming.
a really good catalog. They've filled out their catalog really well lately.
Just don't watch that one that's on there. The man who killed Hitler and then the
And then
Bigfoot?
shot Bigfoot. or
yes,
whatever.
it's not good. With Sam Elliott, it's not good. Don't watch it.
But
not
it's
even
Sam
good to
Elliott.
make
At some
not
point, I
even
have
good
to
to make
watch
fun
it.
of.
You're not wrong.
Not even good to make fun of. It's not good. It's boring. I'm telling you. I watched it.
But it's Sam Elliott.
Don't. I know. Just watch Roadhouse again.
They can't go wrong with watching Roadhouse.
And he dies in that movie, and it's still better.
Damn, that hurts, don't it?
But that's what I've been
Pain
getting
don't
into.
hurt.
I haven't got. Oh, and I watched AEW Week 2 of Fyter Fest this week, and it was really fun. If you guys remember Taz, the professional wrestler, he brought back the FTW championship and
Yeah,
gave it
he
to Brian
did.
Cage this week. For those that aren't familiar, that is a belt that he had in the ECW in 1999. It was the Fuck the World Championship belt. And there's
The
like
belt that no other organization would recognize.
right, and there's two plates on the side that's just
Wait,
upraised
really?
middle fingers like that on it.
Yeah.
I thought
He
it was
had
for the win.
It is now.
No.
It wasn't then.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, it's the Fuck the World Championship.
And that was actually Taz's belt. He owned it. He owned the rights to it. So WWE had no claim on it when they bought ECW. And the belt that was on the show was the original one that Taz owned. He brought it and then bestowed it upon Brian Cage in the middle of the show. And I was like, hot damn, this is kind of cool. And if you were not someone who was watching wrestling in the late 90s, you're probably like, the hell is this? But
Yeah,
if
he's
you
just
were
making up a belt. It's like, oh no, he had that belt.
Yeah.
I do have a question you brought up because I actually had this question in my head. I was wondering, and maybe you can answer it. Now, big belts like let's say the WWE, like, do they keep those belts themselves, or does WWE take it from them as soon as they go behind the curtains or whatever?
No, they carry it around from show to show. When you are the
Also,
champion,
it's under
the belt
your
is with
possession.
you. Like, there was a
And
big
you-
deal with
Yeah, and
Chris,
you keep it.
Chris Jericho
Okay,
when he
that's
won the
kind of
initial
work. Yeah, that
AEW
works.
title. His belt got stolen on the flight home. Like they stopped to eat. Their plane landed, I think, in Tampa, and they were going to drive to Jacksonville or something like that because of weather or something like that. So they were driven by a limo driver. They stopped to go get like steak at a steakhouse or something like that. And while they were in there, someone stole the AEW World Championship out of the back of the car. So like they lost the AEW title at one point in time because it was stolen from Chris Jericho.
Yeah,
Now-
the belts are funny because the belt basically it's one of those things like where, like, you know, Jericho's the champ, goes to the ring wearing the belt. Cena comes in, beats him. Cena becomes the champ. When he takes that belt, it has Jericho's name on it. When they go back to the locker room, he hands that belt back to Jericho, who then takes it home to keep it. And then the company gives Cena a brand new belt.
Okay,
And, like,
that
that's
kind of
how
makes me.
Yeah, that's how it's always been. That's why belts are always the designs, the logos, all that stuff on them is always changing. Because when you win the belt, you get that belt. Like they keep them.
This makes me really want to go back in time to 98, 99, and then find, I don't know who had it. It was I think it was Mankind. I know
Hardcore title.
what's
The hardcore title.
yeah. I want to go
That's actually
and
my
find
favorite
them out in
belt.
the street
Because
randomly.
it's literally
Get a
like
buddy.
torn apart and put back together. Like it's the coolest looking belt.
No. The coolest part is that it was a 24/7
Yeah.
that you had to defend the belt. So I want to get a friend in a referee shirt. I'm just gonna
And
go cold clock the
and a pipe.
person who is the champion, and just pin them and have them count and have someone videotape this and say, "I'm now the champion. Where's my belt? Where's my belt? 24/7 rule."
They brought it back in the WWE, not the hardcore title, but they have a new belt called the 24/7 title, and it's ugly as
Oh, yeah.
sin if you go look at
They
it.
have a new one. Yeah, that's
But
the
same kind of
24/7.
rules. Like Rob
I mean-
Gronkowski at one point in time won the 24/7 title.
Yeah,
I mean, the
the
hardcore
Gronk
belt
had it.
was an ugly belt, but it was an ugly, awesome
Yeah.
looking
This
belt.
is just ugly if you go look
Yeah,
up the
it's
24/7.
That sucks. Because I my favorite belt. I like the FTW belt, but my favorite belt was the hardcore belt. Like that's the coolest looking belt ever
Yeah,
because it
I
looks
mean-
like it's been through a cage match.
And no, it's like I mean, when the hardcore champion is giving a backstage interview, you know what's about to happen. Someone's about to run up on them.
Basically, whenever they're on camera, you know they're about to be hit.
Oh my god! I saw some clip from Reddit wrestling. It was like the title was like Sneak Level 100. And it was like some masked wrestler. I don't even know what organization was in, but they were just walking out, and then all of a sudden a dude sliding his in the folding chair behind a newspaper comes sliding in. He pulls away. He comes up with folds of chairs, comes running up at him. The newspaper is what sells it.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. What the hell promotion was
I couldn't
that?
tell you because I don't know.
I think it might have been Kenny Omega. I'm not positive, but yeah, I saw that clip. And yeah, it's a dude sitting in the crowd, and he's sitting in the crowd in a steel chair with a newspaper up in front of him. So as the first wrestler's being introed, this guy walks past him. He puts the newspaper down,
Or he
grabs
just
the steel chair, and
slides
runs up
over.
behind him. Yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
It's the chair slide
Yep.
with the newspaper and then folding it up to God hit him. I love it.
Sometimes professional wrestling is just goddamn entertaining.
Like when they're wrestling with their dick. That's a
weird.
Dick Toga joke.
Bachman, what have you been getting into?
Those names not Toga.
I've been getting into watching streaming services. Lots and lots of streaming services. Yeah, my freaking hand's still killing me, so I haven't been playing much of anything. I finished off the shit. I can barely jack off. That's how bad my hand hurts.
No one saw it. I wasn't on camera.
No, you were on camera.
Yeah.
No,
Willie
you
was
didn't
on
pull up
camera.
enough time.
Willie
It
was
all
stroking it.
Bachman. I was mimicking the stroke. He said his hand was all done.
Yeah, no.
Now it's on.
Yeah, still don't know what the hell I did to it. The fucking tendon in my hand's still killing me, so I haven't been playing much of anything. I had to buy like the last 30 levels of the Dead by Daylight Battle Pass because like I still don't even having nothing to do, I still can't play that game enough to get through 70 fucking levels. So I think I'm done buying battle passes on that game because it's fucking crazy.
I mean, you should have enough to. Oh no, because you have to buy 30 of them.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
you do
I
money.
yeah, you earn the Auric cells during it to buy the next one, which is great. But yeah, it's just the sheer amount of time you'd have to put into that game to get that done every time. Like I haven't done it once. I've always had to buy levels, and so
That's my first one.
yeah, you know, Willie tore through it this time. But yeah, it's like I can play the Apex one, and I know that if I play a couple days a week and have fun with it, I will finish the battle pass in time. The fucking Dead by Daylight one, man, you basically have to play every day. If you don't play almost every day, you're not going to get it done in time. Like, it's just a bit ridiculous. So, yeah.
I got 2 weeks before it was finished.
Well, yeah, you did, but you literally do play every day.
I genuinely like the game.
Yeah. And I do too, but also trying to struggle through the battle pass is making me like it less. So I think now if I just stop buying the battle pass, it'll be more enjoyable. Because actually, yeah, I do like the new character. I like how some of the metas changed because of the new perks. Like, and the new map looks fucking cool as hell. It's giant, but it looks cool. And then I was watching the PTB stuff. Monto was showing the new changes they got coming to Bubba, which I already love. Leatherface. Leatherface is one of my favorite killers to play on that game. And the fact they're going to make him even more powerful is insane. But yeah, like, it's going to be fun. But yeah, so getting into that, playing a little bit of Apex, and then yeah, I watched all 3 seasons of Kingdom, the Frank Grillo MMA show on Netflix. It stars the kid from the Black Donnellys and Nick Jonas, one of the Jonas Brothers, is on it. Fucking fantastic show. Just, you know, crazy drama in the MMA world. Like, it's pretty simplified. Watched The Old Guard, which I'd actually finally got me an iPad and the Comixology app. Start getting through, you know, some of these tons and tons of Humble Bundle comics that I have. And bought the Old Guard comic because I knew that was coming out on Netflix. Tore through that comic. Fucking great book. Also, Greg Rucka. The reason that he was on Fat Man Beyond was to come talk about the Old Guard. And then watched that movie when it dropped on Netflix. Fucking fantastic. It's basically a team of Highlanders who do military missions because they can't die. And so it's this world, this crazy ass world where Charlize Theron is like a multiple 1,000-year-old warrior. She's literally one of the best lines in the movie that is directly from the book is she takes out all this big ass group of guys. And the line is, it's something like, she's forgotten more ways to kill people than most armies will ever learn. Because
Nice.
this woman has literally just been fighting for millennia. It's what she does. And so you just have all these badasses where it's like, it's great because of the aesthetics of it, the look of it's awesome because you got them, you know, they're all wearing tactical gear. They're all wearing, you know, new age guns and they got all the gadgets and grenades and everything. But then she's also carrying an axe on her back. Because when all the ammo and shit runs out, you pull out a fucking blade and you hack bitches up. because you're being shot and you can't die anyways. So fuck it, you're gonna run out of ammo eventually. And so yeah, it's got some really cool ideas in it, some really cool concepts. The whole movie plays awesome. And one of the awesome things I found out watching the Greg Rucka interview on Batman Beyond, he got brought in to actually write the script. So he wrote the comic, and then because things, different mediums, different ways, he was actually able to write the script and make changes as they were doing it, to where, like, in the comic book, there's a staircase fight where it's Andy, the character that Charlize Theron plays, does, this fight down a giant spiral staircase where she takes out like 50 fucking SWAT guys. And it's an awesome sequence in the comic book. But of course, then they cast Charlize Theron in the movie, and she comes in, and one of her pieces of feedback was like, well, it's a great sequence in the comic, but I literally just did a movie where I did this as a super spy fighting down a staircase in a French building. I would rather not do that same thing again. Can we come up with a different sequence? And so Rucka, being the writer and the creators right there writing the scripts, like, yeah, let me change it. We'll do this. Like, give me a day to do some research and change it up. And so, like, he did changes that worked for the director, that worked for the cast, that worked for making it a movie instead of it being a comic. And there was the actual guy who created these characters, who created the story, being on set and being able to actually change things as they were going. Makes for a fantastic fucking film. Like, I'm probably going to watch it again today. Like, it's so good. And it's just, yeah, the actors in it are awesome. But yeah, go check out The Old Guard. If you haven't read the comic, it's on Comixology. I think it's on sale right now. Like, it's a great book. And apparently they're working on the second one right now, because Lissandro, the artist, came back with Greg Rucka, said when they were done, was like, hey, I want to do another one. And Rucka's like, I think I might have another story. Or actually, you know what? I think I have 3. I think this is going to be a trilogy. And so Rucka figured out what the second, like the middle part of the story is going to be and what the end part of the story is going to be. So apparently they're working on Old Guard 2 now, and he's going to do an Old Guard 3 eventually. And so, like, Rucka has the stories in his head already. So yeah, it's going to be cool to see. But honestly, if the numbers hit on Netflix, odds are we'll probably get 3 movies out of it. So it might be the Old Guard trilogy. And if so, 3 movies of Charlize Theron kicking ass, I am fucking there for it. Because, I mean, Aeon Flux, Furiosa, now Andy. What was
that other movie you're talking about? Was that Atomic Blonde?
Atomic Blonde? Yeah, I was trying to remember. I was thinking Bombshell. I'm like, no, she's in Bombshell, but Bombshell wasn't the name of the spy movie. What the fuck? Yeah, Atomic Blonde was fucking awesome. That was such a good spy flick.
It was all right.
The fight choreography in that movie is amazing.
Plus, the movie overall was okay.
Well, plus it's got John Goodman. You can't go wrong with John Goodman. It's not possible. He's never done a bad anything. He's fucking John Goodman. But yeah, if they do 2 more of them, yeah, I will happily watch those, because yeah, Old Guard is definitely worth watching. If you just enjoy any action films ever, go watch Old Guard on Netflix. It's fucking good. I know it's a very simple conceit, but they do it extremely well, and that's one of the best parts of it. Yeah, watching that. And then, yeah, I watched Palm Springs. I saw that was out, and so I watched that last night. And yeah, it's Groundhog's Day, it's Happy Death Day, and now it's Palm Springs. And honestly, having watched like the first season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine and a whole lot of the Lonely Island Boy stuff, sometimes Adam Sandberg bugs the fuck out of me. He's kind of hit or miss with me. This one is a hit. It's a funny movie. They take the conceit of the infinite time loop, and they kind of attack it in a different way. And then it's one of those movies where you're learning as you're going different things as the day is repeating over and over again. And yeah, it's just going into it knowing like, hey, we're going to write a time loop movie. What's a different way of attacking this material than it's been done before? Because Happy Death Day's done it 2 different ways. Groundhog Day was basically the original. And so, yeah, they go at it at a different angle, tell a really great story. And, yeah, Adam Sandberg actually kills it in this. And then fucking Superman and Veronica are both in it, so it's weird. It's Tyler Cochran, or Cochran, however you say his name.
Cochran, I believe.
Cochran. And then, yeah, the girl that's Veronica, Veronica on the current Riverdale are also both in it. Yeah, great fucking movie. It's fucking, oh, yeah, and Live, Die, Repeat, Second Pioneer. Yeah, Live, Die, Repeat. On the Edge of Tomorrow. The Live, Die, Repeat, motherfuckers. Yeah, the time loop movie's been done a couple different ways. This one, it's definitely different. It's super fucking funny. Some of the sequences are just utterly ridiculous. The idea of what would you really do if you had unlimited time living the same day over and over again? And some of the ideas they come up with in this movie is shit I have not seen in other movies that deal with the same concept, and that's what you want. It's a new, fresh take on something that's been done a couple of times, but when it's done well, man, it can be really fucking good. And yeah, this one was super funny. So yeah, that's what I've been getting into. So yeah, go watch Palm Springs on
It's
Hulu.
on my list. I'm gonna make it happen. Willie, what you been getting into, buddy?
I'll keep this short and sweet. I've been playing Wreckfest. I also have played a lot of Dead by Daylight. I watched all of Doom Patrol in the last 7-ish hours.
Jesus.
For all of season
Man.
2, all what's available. I think it's coming out weekly because there's only 5 episodes up.
Yeah, I think they moved to a weekly model, just like The Boys is doing now too, which really annoys me.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. But yeah, Doom Patrol season 2
Is it
still
September yet?
just,
I want more boys.
phrasing.
Are we still
No.
doing that? Is that still a thing?
I didn't know you were in the Catholic Church.
You gonna take
Oh.
$1.2 billion of my tax dollars too?
Yes, please.
Well, technically, he doesn't take it; he keeps it,
Neither here nor there. Go ahead, Willie.
and then
sorry.
you have to give it to him in the first place. All right. Yes, a lot of Wreckfest, a lot of that Demolition Derby racing game, which is still very fun. What else did I do? I did something. Did a whole lot. Oh, I went out and played disc golf again. This would be twice in 2 years, and it was nice and fun. The only bad news is now I don't think it was because of it. It's just that I got some gout flare up now in my index toe. I guess that's the best word for it. Yeah, fuck that toe. Yeah, I don't got nothing else, man. Let's make this short and sweet.
All right. Well, that being said,
Whoa, actually, everything I do is sweet. That's all I'm gonna leave it on.
I don't know if everything is. When you cuss out someone because they don't let you buy a pack of smokes, is that sweet?
When does that happen?
I don't know. I'm just assuming it probably has.
I mean, they've been out, and I don't curse them. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
that's good because you're not a terrible human being like those that would curse people out because.
Did you see the Karen haircut on my head?
No, you got a hat on today.
He's hiding his Karen.
Do you think I would have grew a Karen haircut in that quick a time?
I think you have to shave it off every day because your Karenness reasserts itself daily.
Oh no, there's a Karen face.
I'm aware, Karen.
It looks like Willie's ready to talk to the manager.
Let me just twirl my mustache.
All right, now see here.
Yeah, but you know what? Fuck you, Chris, for calling me a Karen.
Whatever.
That's fair.
All right, so I guess we are about ready to wrap this thing up. A friendly reminder, we do stream live every Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, over on Geeks.live, the official streaming home of the Gonna Geek Network. If you're there now, you can scroll down to the bottom of the page, see a calendar of all of our upcoming live events, so please feel free to drop in on any of those other live shows and tell them that we sent you. On a side note, folks, stay safe out there. If you're watching the coronavirus numbers, you're seeing things going back up, so just continue to be smart. Don't.
This is America, man. What are you trying to tell people to do anything
Yeah,
for?
I know.
Don't
Wear
you
a mask,
know it?
bitches.
I live in a state where the numbers are spiking really high all of a sudden, so
Me
it's concerning.
too.
Yeah. Well, not as
We
bad as
both live in
South
Florida.
Carolina. Not
I
as
was
bad
making
as-
the joke of both live in Florida. That's where I was
Yeah.
going.
Hey, Disney World reopened though because that's important in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah, but they didn't reopen their corporate offices.
Go figure.
I wonder if that tells you what's important to them.
Yeah, right.
Oh, and congratulations to Donnie Cates and Brian Stegman. They were able to do their announcement. Noel is coming from Absolute Carnage, and the new event that they're doing is going to be called The King in Black.
Interesting.
He's basically the king of all the symbiotes, who was stuck inside of a planet made of symbiotes to try to keep him away from the rest of the universe, because apparently he's that fucking evil. And now he's loose and on his way to Earth.
Wonder how long it
Because-
takes him to possess Spider-Man. Because all
Because they
symbiotes love Spider-Man.
Did a symbiote take over Ego?
The living planet.
No, it wasn't a planet of symbiotes. It was literally so many symbiotes that they massed
I heard
a
you.
planet.
Oh, I heard you. I understood you. I was saying a different question to that. Oh,
I don't know if they've done a symbiote on Ego yet. In Absolute
just-
Carnage, the Venom symbiote got on Hulk though, and that was pretty cool. Ryan Stegman drew the shit out of that.
didn't
Was
they
that
also do that in a
The Venom
Spider-Man
symbiote
game?
on Hulk.
Is that the current incarnation of Hulk, the immortal Hulk that had the Venom symbiote?
Wait, isn't Banner back?
That I'm not sure.
Like
I
I just started reading Immortal Hulk, that book that came out. Banner's back. You find out that he's basically immortal because of the Hulk, and it's turned into like this horror type read. It's really really.
I
good.
think it was. I want to say the Hulk in that book that was in Absolute Carnage wasn't the new Immortal Hulk kind of more dark incarnation.
Okay.
I think they were just taking like a general Hulk from an Avengers team.
Yeah.
Because it didn't seem like that dark kind of creepy one.
If you get the chance, it was on sale in Comixology. I don't know if it still is. They had like the entire run of Immortal Hulk's trades on sale for like $3 a pop. So I bought all of them, and I'm through like the first 2 or 3 trades, and it's super creepy and twisted, and it's put a whole new slant on the Hulk where he's now smart in his own right. He's always trying to protect Banner, and now as soon as the sun sets, the Hulk comes out, and it's turned.
I'll say because I read the first 4 or 5, maybe 6. Because I was like they went back to the whole nighttime Hulk thing, right?
And they get really deep into some of like the horror aspects of it. Like at one point in time, the Hulk gets ripped to shreds, and they put different pieces in jars, and they're studying him in some research lab until he's able to snap his fingers in the jar and create a sonic boom that shatters the jars. And then you just see all of his body parts coming back together on the floor as he starts putting himself back together. Oh, it's so weird looking. So weird looking.
So he's like the Wolfman in Monster Squad.
Yeah, he has nards.
Big old balls.
You guys can go check that out. Also, we didn't talk about it in this show. They dropped the trailer for season 2 of The Boys. It looks fantastic, but the problem, like I mentioned, is they're going week to week, not mass dropping it.
And now we have talked about it. You're welcome.
Now we have. Any final notes before we shut this thing down, guys? Got any final thoughts for our crowds here?
You don't need the Dark Universe. Just go rewatch Monster Squad.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
remake it. Zack
best.
Snyder, remake it.
There's no reason to remake Monster Squad. It works perfectly.
Well, on that note,
Zack
we're going to
Snyder
shut
can
things
make it
down
better.
before Willie makes Zack Snyder make more movies. Suck. Bye, guys.
Hey, fuck you.
Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek Radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.